Yes.
Go back to that response you had about success. When you went to the Daring Gap on Saturday, you mentioned that you were only able to observe. You weren't able to talk to any migrants. I wonder if you weren't able to talk to any of them and get your message out, how is that successful? And then separately, is New York City in any way providing resources or any help coordinating with the federal government when it comes to Israel other than protections at synagogues and things like that?
Yeah. Okay. Daring Gap was two forms of mission. And, you know, let's be honest, let's be realistic. You're getting 375,000 went through this year. There was no way we would speak with 5,000 people and have an in-depth conversation of what was happening. How do you do it? You do it by speaking through media, the newspapers, television, the radios, the social media sites. That's how you reach the mass number of people. The goal was to see what does it look like. We spent that half day flying over the Darien Gaps, looking at how people are coming in, what are the boats they are using, and then we got on the ground and we were able to see a visual, the number of people sleeping on the beaches, taking the boats across. And so you're not going to speak with 5,000 people and say, okay, here's the reality of New York. So you use the various mediums that are there to communicate with people. If anyone thought we were going to go down to the Darien Gap and communicate with 10,000 people and engage in in-depth conversations on a 3-country, 4-day trip, that's just not being realistic. You know, we had a real clear plan. We orchestrated, coordinated, and executed exactly what we were looking for. Communicated with the media, meet with our electeds, have fact-finders. That was exactly what we did in the 4 days that we were there. We went to 3 countries in 4 days, meeting with senior leaderships, nonprofits, NGOs, UNs, public law enforcement officials, sun up to sundown, you know, and there was very little rest in between. I feel sorry for my staff. They don't want to travel with me again, I'm sure. But we executed a plan, and it carried out the objectives that we were looking for.
Do you want to answer the other?
What was it? What was it?
Having any resources or support, talking to the state or the feds about helping those impacted by the conflict outside of the protection at synagogues?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you, Fabian?
Sure. So we've been in touch with, like I said, the mayor and I went to Israel earlier this summer. We're actually in touch with folks on the ground in Israel, restaurant owners who are helping coordinate meals for soldiers and those that are have been displaced. Altice is offering free long-distance calls to Israel for folks here, so we're helping promote that. We're trying to get people to volunteer, to donate, to provide funds for food for those in Israel. So we're talking to the consulate and seeing anything else that they need. We've been in touch with a number of people over the weekend. We've been very clear the city of New York is behind them and want to support in any way possible.
And there's some conversations taking place now with some surplus supplies we have. Our team is speaking out. Commissioner Isco is speaking with some of the volunteer organizations that are here to see how do we get some of those surplus supplies that we have here that we built up during COVID. So we are engaged on all the different levels to see how do we help, but not get in the way. There needs to be, you know, sometimes during these issues, these incidents, there's a level of enthusiasm to just help, but we need to coordinate with those who are on the ground in Israel to see how do we not get in the way and how do we make sure that we assist them during these times of need.
Mayor, do you want to maybe mention the calls you had yesterday?
Yes, yesterday I communicated with the mayor of Jerusalem, the mayor of Tel Aviv, and the president of Israel, and they were extremely appreciative of not only the relationship with this administration in the country, but how we were proactive in saying, listen, we want to be here to help, but not to get in the way. Things are extremely chaotic on the ground, and we want to make sure that we are coordinating well with them, and I look forward to reaching out and coordinating time to speak with the Prime Minister as well.
Mr. Mayor, so I want to just pivot to school safety
Yes.
questions. On Friday, we had 2 firearms confiscated by independent